All right, today we're going to work on a skill. So this is one of our types of art, our skill builders that we've talked about before. So you're going to fold your paper in half. We're just using scrap paper because our skill builders, they're just for practicing a type of skill, and so we're using scratch paper for this. So this time, we're going to do our drawing skill builder. So we're practicing a drawing skill. Our drawing skill today is shading and blending. We're going to practice two more down here on another time, but for now, shading and blending. So to start out, shading is where we add pressure. I sometimes like to turn my page depending which direction I'm going to go. So my shading is going from dark to light, and I'm changing my pressure, so how much I push down and getting lighter and lighter. I also like to do multiple layers, so I go back over it to get my dark to light. And I try to stay consistent so I don't just have a tiny little triangle. So really try to get a good section of dark, going to a medium gray, and then to lighter. Now you can do this with a colored pencil, with a crayon. It's a drawing skill that can be done with any drawing utensil. Now with blending, we're going to do a similar thing. I'm going to use my red and orange because blending usually works best with two colors on a color wheel, or that are close to each other on a color wheel. So I'm going to start out with my red and do the same thing I did here. So trying to stay consistent with, and I want these two colors to overlap so it looks like one color is just changing into the other color. I'm going to go back and layer it some more with a little more pressure to get my darker color, and then just letting off the pressure a little bit and getting even lighter so it fades out. Now I'm going to come back with my orange a little ways away, and I'm going to do the same thing going the other direction. So more pressure, a little less, to where they just blend right together. So less and less pressure until it fades into the red. So again, another layer. Again, trying to stay consistent with my size of my area. More pressure where it's darker, less and less pressure as they overlap. Now, I usually do that and then come back with my first color. I'm going to come back with the red again, do a few more layers of more pressure, and have it blend right into that orange. I'm getting softer and softer, so it just looks like it changes color. Now, if you want to try this on a shape, so if you want to do something like a circle, it doesn't have to be too perfect. We do want to pretend like we have our light source. I usually do it coming from above, and so my darker area will be the lower part where the shade is, where the shadow is, and then I get lighter and lighter, so less pressure and less pressure around my circle. So darkest point at the bottom where I use more pressure and get softer as I go up. Then I kind of use a curved line too to make this look more like a ball or a sphere, so it looks more 3D, three-dimensional. Again, come back so I have a little more pressure, a little darkness on the underside, and then that softer, lighter as I get farther up on the ball, keeping that kind of curved line to make it look more rounded. Now, I have one that I spent a little bit more time on. So I also did my light source and then have darker areas, lighter areas, so you can kind of see what you can do with on a shape. What you can do for blending on a shape or shading on a shape to make it look more round. All right, now we're going to practice.